So today we'll be talking about Social Security retirement benefits. This topic is a little confusing, so I will start with a little history of Social Security, and then we'll discuss the various types of Social Security programs, taxes, and amounts. Please stick until the end. I promise it's going to be informative, and I'll try to also make it fun. All right, so Social Security began back in 1935 following the stock market crash of 1929. America fell into an economic depression. Unemployment at that time exceeded 25%, and about 10,000 banks failed. During the Great Depression, poverty among the elderly grew dramatically. So the best estimate are that in 1934, over half of the elderly in America lacked sufficient income to be self-supporting. That's a little crazy. So in response, Franklin Roosevelt, a new Social Security Act was adopted, and a contributory system based on the concept of social insurance. This is not welfare. It's more of like insurance program. So it was based on the pooling risk of the betterment of society. So the two major provisions of the Social Security Act were Title I, which grants the states for old age assistance, which supported state welfare programs for the aged, and Title II, Federal Old Age Benefits, which represents the beginning retirement benefit of our modern-day Social Security system. All right, so moving on, this is a little table that shows the history of Social Security programs. I'm not going to go into the details. I don't want to make it boring. So let's move on. Social Security is a social insurance program, right? So it has three categories: retirement benefits, disability benefits, and survivor benefits. And I'll try to go a little bit into the details for all of those. All right, so what is Social Security retirement benefits? Well, is a federal insurance program for eligible workers that are 62 years of age or older. Right, so you can choose to receive benefits as early as age 62, but you'll get a reduced amount. Social Security benefits are increased if you delay receiving benefits until your full retirement age, which is typically 70 years old nowadays. If you are a government worker eligible for a pension benefit, the windfall elimination provision will reduce benefits, and we'll go into that in details later on. All right, so let's move on. Who gets Social Security? I think the 54 million people I have here is might not be an accurate number, so that's as close as I could get, so it could be slightly more nowadays. The question is, who really relies on Social Security? As much as 90% of people that are age 65 and older receive Social Security. That number, when I did some research, that number looked really outrageously high for me, but that's the reality. So nearly 2 in 3 people receive half or more of their income from Social Security. Kind of expected that after saying 90%, but that's still it's crazy. About 1 in 3 receive nearly all of their income from Social Security. So again, this is a little scary. That means that people rely on Social Security as means of their main income after age 65 or so. So That sounds all interesting, but let's see who pays for Social Security. Well, when we are young, we all pay into Social Security. Um, and then the benefits replace a portion of lost wages due to death, disability, or retirement. All right, so how much do we pay? In 2017, we pay 7.65% of our earnings, and then our employers pay 7.65. So if you are self-employed, then you pay 15.3%. However, you can if you're self-employed, then you get a federal income tax deduction, I think, of half of that when you file taxes. So basically that half is deductible as a business expense. That is what I was going to say. Also, higher income Social Security beneficiaries, so those that are already receiving Social Security benefits, they also pay a federal income tax on their benefit income, which basically helps additionally to pay for Social Security. So, it looks like there are a lot of people that are relying on Social Security. Kind of, I've been hearing lately that the system could be at risk of collapse. Social Security's finances are being hit by a wave of demographics as baby boomers reach retirement age, so leaving relatively fewer workers to pay into the system. It's just, look, I kind of run some numbers when I was doing research. So in 1960, there were 4.9 workers paying Social Security taxes for each person getting benefits. Today, there are about 2.8 workers for each beneficiary. So like a ratio that dropped like to 1.9. It's going to drop to 1.9 by 2035. So I don't want to say it, but most likely we'll see some changes, either in form of higher taxes, or we'll see how it's going to go. But it doesn't look really good right now. And that's another graph that shows that in 2016, Social Security began paying out more in benefits than it collected in taxes. And again, this is in large part due to the growing base of baby boomers applying for Social Security benefits. So there are various studies that estimate that the Social Security fund surplus will be basically depleted at some point between 2033 and 2041. So again, there are many proposals. We'll see how those work out and play out. So moving on, I want to get into a very interesting topic. So a lot of the time people ask, how do you qualify for Social Security benefits? Well, you basically earn credits. You need the 40 credits to get Social Security benefits. And that means that for retirement benefits, anyone that was born in 1929 or later needs 10 years of work, 4 credits per year, for a total of 40 credits to be eligible. So basically that's you earn 4 credits per year, and I will get into the details of those in a second. So in 2017, you will need to earn $1,260 of earnings, and you can get up to maximum of 4. So that amount will come to 5,040. So if you make 5,040 a year, you basically earned your 4 credits for that year. Okay. So retirement age and benefits. That's another good topic. One of the questions that could be addressed here is at what age you can start receiving retirement benefits. So, well, basically, traditionally, the full benefit age was age 65. And today it's considered age 62. That's the earliest you can start receiving retirement benefits. However, the longer you wait, the higher your monthly benefit will be. So let's say if you wait until age 70, your monthly benefit will be much higher, right? So that's a very good thing to consider if you are planning on retiring. All right, so little joke here. In case everything else fails, little humor doesn't hurt. Let's move on. All right. So in addition to the retiree, there are other beneficiaries who might be entitled to Social Security. All right. So it's the spouse. So and then there are considerations of what is considered a spouse and for how long you have to be married for the spouse to be eligible for Social Security benefits, and the child. So again, there are considerations for the child as well. Right. So, how Social Security determines benefits, right? So basically, Social Security keeps a record year to year of how much, what's basically the base of the it's called the ceiling, right? So when you apply for benefits, computers at the agency will adjust or index your wage history to account for changes in average wages since the years that you received the earnings. So the computers basically will focus on the 35 years in which you earned the most money. If you didn't work a full 35 years, then basically zeros will be substituted for those missing years. All right. So the next step is to apply for a special formula to those indexed earnings to arrive at your basic benefit, which Social Security calls your primary insurance amount, or PIA. I guess many of you who are retired or planning to retire heard about the PIA, right? So that's the primary insurance amount. And this is the sum you're eligible for at your full retirement age. That's what PIA really is. So if you are working while receiving retirement benefits, your earnings will reduce your benefit amount only until you reach your full retirement age, right? So after you reach the full retirement age, the Social Security Administration will basically recalculate your benefit amount to leave out the months when benefits were reduced to you due to your excess earnings, right? So and that's while this sounds a little confusing, basically if you're working while receiving retirement benefits, you will still be entitled to a higher benefit amount later on. So another topic I want to address is the income taxes and retirement benefits, right? So here it shows how much of your Social Security benefits are not subject to taxes, and then basically if you make more, you pay taxes. All right, so another thing I want to talk about is WEP. That's a little boring, but that's basically the windfall that I was talking about in the beginning. If you work for an employer who does not withhold Social Security taxes from your salary, such as a government agency or an employer in another country, any pension you get based on that work may reduce your Social Security benefit. So that's really where that comes into role. So that's about how they determine. We'll just keep that. I want to talk about the inflation. So obviously, every year, the inflation eats the power of the dollar. So the benefits basically are keep up with inflation, and that is the cost of living adjustment at COLA. All right, let's move on. Just want to touch base on how to apply for Social Security. You can go online and apply for benefits online or at your local Social Security office. Then once you do, you will receive your Social Security statement every period. Termination of benefits, basically The last month of entitlement to Social Security is when it's the month before